In this video, I am going to share my experience and channeling Walt Disney for the D23 Expo 2017. Share my experiences and what Walt has to say about the Expo. Alright, so here we go. So the Expo this time around was July 14th through the 16th, 2017 in Anaheim, California at the Anaheim Convention Center. So I had arrived the day before, get myself situated. Since I had time, I went to the convention center, which was in walking distance from where I was staying in the area. And I wanted to see if there was anything that any information or anything that I would receive for being a gold member. And there wasn't. I already had my ticket. General admission ticket, 3-day pass. I had pre-ordered, so that was sent to me. And there was a separate window for gold membership, but it was only to receive a replacement card or if you needed to pick up tickets. All right. So then we start Friday. Now, what Walt has to say about this is that he would have preferred that the staff, he understands people working for the Anaheim Convention Center. Talking about the staff, the Disney staff. He would have wished that they were better informed and better training. Okay? Because it had the feel and energy that this was thrown together and they were not prepared, and some of them unfortunately were befuddled, is a nice word, and short and very curt, and of course that is not the Disney way, and Walt Disney feels that if you're wearing, well, it's a Walt Disney, they're using his name, right? His image, Disney image, and if you are representing the Walt Disney Company, you are representing Walt himself. This is the way he looks at it. Most of the staff was very friendly and courteous to me and very helpful. Unfortunately, there were some that were either over it. Of course, not to be, honest and truthful, not everyone who was attending was happy. I called them angry birds. And they were complaining, and of course that is difficult to maneuver. All right, so Friday. So what I did was, there are people that were overnight, and then I think they let them into the building to sleep on one of the floors. But I arrived each day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, around 7 a.m.-ish, and I waited in line with everyone else. And Walt would have preferred that it was done a little bit more the Disney way. He felt it should have been more entertaining for the people that were waiting. All right, in line. Plus, the answers that people were receiving from the staff while waiting in line were not really sufficient, probably because they did not have the information themselves. So that was unfortunately making people agitated. And for the most part, though I did hear stories, people did behave themselves. I did hear stories where things were unmanned and then unfortunately that everyone acts in the Disney way. But I only had one incident myself, which was Sunday morning when we were going in. Everybody was unfortunately anxious to get in, and it could have turned ugly, but it didn't. Thank goodness. Where it's just a lot of people, and you really don't have room to maneuver. You don't even have to. It's like you're being pushed with the momentum of the crowd. He feels that could have been handled a bit better as well. He would have wished that they had better security. Now, of course, the Anaheim Convention Center had their own security, but he wishes that there was more security on the Disney side as well. All right, so Friday. Friday, I was pretty much overwhelmed. We felt, myself and Walt Disney, I'm going in as a gold member, we felt that there should have been a larger presence for gold membership. That it was pretty much overlooked, and it's not really setting a good example for the company. It felt more like, okay, so you paid more money for this. Not that there weren't perks and extras that you get with that, but not enough in a mass event. And Walt also felt that when you first walk into the convention center, pretty much close to it should be a meet and greet booth or section, one for the gold members and one for the general audience. All right. So Friday, I just basically got the lay of the land and didn't do a heck of a lot. But I did go to an event, Melodies in Walt's Time, the Music of Disney Live Action Films. It was from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the D23 Expo Arena, and that pretty much made my day. I enjoyed that very much. Whoopi Goldberg was the host. We could have did, when I say we, I mean Walt and myself, could have did without her political jabs, jokes, could have did without that. Though, who was featured was Leslie Ann Warren. She was delightful. Karen Dultress, probably killing the name, sorry. The wife of A.J. Carruthers, and the son of A.J. Carruthers was a featured singer as well. And a 20-voice chorus. That was a delightful event to go to, and definitely that, as far as I'm concerned, redeemed the day of feeling overwhelmed and that the event was not well organized. All right, then moving on to Saturday, July 15th. And I just want to add that I did have a wonderful experience due to, as well, not the wonderful events that I'm going to discuss, but also because of the people that I met online. Yes, there were what I call the angry birds, the angry people, but there were some very nice people that I met, and I was handing out business cards so we can stay in touch. All right, so Saturday, July 15th. So to get a stage pass, what you do is there's a certain area, you go and you wait online, and I already had my agenda of what I wanted to do each day, and a lot of things overlap with time, so you have to pick and choose. So first thing, I knew where everything was. I went right to the stage pass, and I did receive the one that I wanted. Let's see, where is it? Oh, I thought it was for a stage pass. Yeah, it probably was. Why don't I have one? I don't know what I did with it. But anyway, what I went to was, it was at 10 to 11 a.m. Mark Davis Goes to Wed. Walter Eliza Disney. The amazing artistry and designs of the legendary Disney Imagineer, Mark Davis. And that was at the Walt Disney Archive stage. And, you know, my main purpose of going to the expo was going with Walt was more, we were going more old school. We weren't really going for the merchandise. I did a bit of shopping. Weren't really going for the new and upcoming things that are coming up for the Disney company and in the parks. I was more interested in the music and the films of the past. So at this event, there was Pete Docter from Pixar, Chris Merritt from Walt Disney Imagineer, and they are currently working on a book about Mark Davis. And Mark Davis is one of the original 9 Old Men, legendary, fascinating artwork, and that was a very delightful panel discussion. And when you walk in, you receive a raffle ticket to most of the events that I went to, and I happened to win. The winning number was 696142. There you have it. That's the proof. So there were two winners. There was me, and then there was actually a guy that was only like, I think it was like a row behind me. So since his number was called first, I let him have first pick. There were two things. It was a book about, a huge book, about George Lucas, and, let's see, where is it? Not taking it out of the box, but Walt Disney Archives, Pirates of the Caribbean. So he wanted the George Lucas book, which was fine with me because this is what I wanted, because it's more connected to Walt Disney. So that was fun. All right. So I want to add, let me backtrack a bit. On Friday, it's basically getting the lay of the land. You receive, for a gold membership, you receive this. So waiting online for this. And this is the print that you receive. This is the print that all gold members receive. You wait online. Walt feels that this could be better quality. He feels that should be better quality. Also, I was expecting a lanyard that you can wear around your neck, and you can put your, this is what Walt feels that they should have, even if it's for sale, so be it. At least for the, he feels it should be for sale for everyone, but I was there as a gold member. It should be big enough that you can fit your pass in, put your gold card or whatever else you want to put in there. You could put your stage passes, but he feels that they should have something like that in the future. If you want to have it for sale, great, but definitely should have it. And each day, you could receive a souvenir, 2017 souvenir guide, D23 Expo event schedule, and in the background you see D23 bags. Unfortunately, they ran out on Sunday. He wasn't happy about that, but it is possible that people were taking more than one. It's very possible. All right. Then on Saturday, I went right for that event. Waited online. I got that. And basically, I was chilling out on Saturday, and the events that I ended up going to were at 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. Pixar and Walt Disney Animation Studios. Jay Schuster, artist, production designer. I just happened to be in the area, so I stayed for that. And actually, that was very delightful, and Walt enjoyed it very much, actually. Very much so. And then I just stayed put because I had a seat. And then from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m., Pixar and Walt Disney Animation Studios, the same area. The return of Debunking Myths, Revealing Secrets of Disney Animation. That was absolutely delightful. Walt loved it. I did as well. With, forgive me if I'm killing the names, Doug Angala, Keith Laping, killing the names, sorry, and Tom Paniski, killing the names. It happened to be Tom's birthday, so we all sang happy birthday to him. They all work for the Animation Research Library, for the majority of them, and discussing about, myths and what's truth and what is false. Fascinating. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And, being in that Pixar area, received, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, this is a guitar pick, promoting the new film coming up by Disney Pixar, Coco. I think it comes out autumn 2017. That was free. Lanyard, that was free. from Pixar. Glasses they're handing out from Pixar. It says Pixar in the back. Also, each day you could receive a lanyard, but this is all that it is. It's just the actual, and then you would hook it to the end piece there. But I did not want to do that. I did not want to take the chance of having this get ruined. I would have preferred, and Walt would prefer that they had a lanyard for it. All right. Continuing on with... So that was basically it. After that event, at 6:30, I basically left and proceeded to dinner. Now, Sunday, July 16th. All right, so I had an agenda of what I wanted to do, and I actually ended up successful at it. So the first thing that I wanted to do was to have a voicemail greeting, personal greeting on my mobile phone. Okay, by Bill Rogers, who is the official voice of Disneyland. So that was at 11:30 to 12 p.m. He was actually very, very nice, very gracious. He said, you can only put so many people online. I made sure that I was there early to be on that line. And he says, if I don't get to everyone, because there's only half an hour of time, then he would have them come back, which I thought was nice because there would be a band playing in the area right next, because it's center stage, so I'll be right next to it. All right, so this is what everybody received. I had him sign it. Very nice, very gracious to sign it. And the other side was what you filled out. I was number 14 in line. I put a number there. So, what's your name? What's your favorite thing to do at Disneyland? And what's your favorite hobby? And then he makes a greeting from that. So, if you happen to know my mobile number, you might want to call me to hear that. It's quite fun. And if you read what's on that card, you have a hint of what was said. All right. So that was 11:30 to 12. Then I went... Okay. Then I went to get online for the stage pass, or I probably did this before, because there was 2 times. Just like a fast pass, you can have one in the morning and one in the afternoon. At 12:30 p.m., they start for the afternoon sessions, and you can only have one at a time to give more people a chance. So I received a stage pass for the event, 1:30 p.m., 1:30 to 2:30 at the Walt Disney Archive stage, which was definitely my favorite. Magic and the Details, How Disney Historical Collections Continue to Inspire. Okay, that's the pass. And with this panel, there was, I'm going to kill the names, but Mike Buckhoff, Fox Carney, John Healy, Mike Jusko, and Tita Venegas. Wonderful, wonderful panel. They were all the panel's discussions were absolutely wonderful, and enjoyed it immensely. And I actually took photos of the weekend, and it's on my Instagram account if you'd like to check out. For that one, I happened to have I was actually the first person online for that one. So I actually got a very good seat, so my photos came out pretty good for that event. So I'm going to be posting them on Instagram if you want to check them out. Mainly, I took photos of Walt Disney, his desk, because, well, for obvious reasons, I was with Walt. All right, and then after that, well, I don't know exactly when, but I made sure that I got back to Stage Pass because I wanted to see the screening of Snow White. So that was from 3:15 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. as the stage pass, and it was the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937 80th anniversary screening at the D23 Expo Arena. So I wanted to do that. Never seen Snow White on a large screen. Was definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. And then I had not planned it, and you didn't need a stage pass to see this, but I ended up going right after the movie theater. I was like, well, let me try at least. Okay, then I went over and I actually did end up getting in at Hall D23, 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. A Whole New World of Alan Menken. And it was a performance by Alan Menken. And I have to say, you know, being older, being originally from the East Coast, you know, he was talking about how he was, his beginnings, his life, the people that he worked with, his partners, collaborators, and I knew everything that he was talking about because I was familiar with New York back in the day, back then. So I have to say that it was very touching and very moving, and it really was. I couldn't think, honestly, of a better way to end the expo by going to that event. I don't see how anyone that attended that, and it was a large crowd, could not be moved or touched by that performance. It was unbelievable. I don't know how to put it in words. And of course, Walt loved it, absolutely loved it. So some of the booths that I went to, I definitely went to the booth, the Walt Disney Family Museum. I will be planning a trip there with Walt. That'll be fun. While I was there, I was talking to the people there. Very friendly, very helpful. And, you know, of course, they were telling me I have to go to the museum, which, of course, I want to go to the museum. And other places that I should visit. Of course, I will. They had a desk on display that Walt put his initials as a youth. So they had that on display. It was hard to really get a good photo because it was like it was encased in something to like a plastic to like a hard plastic to keep it preserved and safe. But I did take a photo and it didn't come out that great. But so that was fun to see. To have a piece of Walt Disney there on representation. So I didn't do a heck of a lot of shopping, but also after Friday night, the event of Melodies in Walt's Time, they were giving out this Frisbee, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So, of course, I took one. That was a freebie. In my shopping, I visited the Disney Music Emporium because I love music and I love Disney. Therefore, I love Disney music. I have to give them a plug that they were extremely friendly. Extremely. I have to give them a plug for that. Walt was extremely pleased about that because he's all about image and service, courteous service. I also, while I was online, met some great people. A lot of people. I met some people who were doing cosplay as well. Took photos of a bunch of people doing cosplay. Wonderful, 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 creative energy all over the place. So we absolutely loved that. So anyway, I met this wonderful couple. And they told me that I should visit the Mouse Planet booth, so I did. And I received a button. If you follow them on Instagram, which I did, you receive a button. They provided a free lanyard, which they were was a giveaway from Getaway Today. So this is what I actually wore on Sunday, though. And I just put my stage passes in it. Though it's not large enough to put the pass, but it's not from the Disney company, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, all right. I did the selfie contest. I had that photo on Instagram. And this is something that Walt was very excited about, actually. After seeing the screening of Snow White, they are Disney Snow White, the 1937 collection. It's a makeup collection. I don't wear makeup, but I did get this. At least did get this. Okay, that's the other half of it. All right. He is very happy about this. He thinks that is an extremely wonderful idea. At the Disney Emporium, they had mostly vinyl, because vinyl is back in vogue, if you will. But I was there for a specific CD. I figured, well, I'd had to check it out anyway. But I just ended up purchasing the Disney Electrical Parade, Disneyland. That's what I ended up purchasing there. All right, so basically, Walt feels that they could have been better with better security from the Disney staff. The Disney staff should have been better informed and trained, because it seemed like they were just like thrown into it and then they had to fend for themselves. And Walt would have wanted to see a bigger presence for the gold membership, and they can sell it, but have a lanyard so you can put your pass in and your card in and stage passes in. But overall, I would say I had a wonderful experience. I would not go back if I was by myself like I was this time. If I went with friends, then I would do the general pass experience like I did this time. But when I'm going to shoot for the 2019 D23 Expo is what they call a sorcerer's package, and you pay a much higher rate, but there are a lot more perks, where less waiting time, you have shopping privileges, preview the day before, a lot of perks. That's the way I'm going to shoot for 2019. So Walt is happy that this is happening, but he would just prefer it to be better organized. All right. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching. And Walt and I hope to see you real soon in other videos channeling Walt Disney. Take care.